Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another quick coffee break and a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in this truth, man. Right? And I'm going to do a quick lesson on stop celebrating your birthdays, man. Right? Israel, you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, celebrating birthdays in these worldly traditions are not for you, man. Right? You have got to separate from this world and stop celebrating your birthday, man. Before I get started, first and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. That is to say, all praises to the Heavenly Father, whom the world calls God, in the name of His only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? So I just wanted to come to you real quick with a quick exhortation, man, to stop celebrating your birthday, man, right? We oftentimes like to just go with the flow and celebrate the things that we're used to, man. Traditions that we're accustomed to in this world, man. Right? And really don't even understand where it comes from or what it means. Right? So we're going to dive into it real quick. I'm going to give you a little quick excerpt, man, on the origins of a birthday, man. Right? And what you're actually celebrating. Right? So this is the origins of birthday, man. Okay, check this out. This is from the Satanic Bible, right? The Satanists, man, celebrate worshiping birthdays, man, right? Check this out. This is an excerpt, 1969, right? It says, the highest of holy days in the Satanic religion is the date of one's own birthday. This is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days in other religions, which define a particular God who has been created in an anthropomorphic, Salaki for the pronunciation, anthropomorphic from of their own image, thereby showing that the ego is not really buried. The Satanist feels, right? And it says, why not really be honest? And if you are going to create a God in your image, why not create a God as yourself? Every man is a God. He chooses to recognize himself as one. So the Satanists celebrate his own birthday as the most important holy day or holiday of the year, man. Right? So Satanists, man, they celebrate this birthday to worship themselves, right? And then when you follow after traditions, you're following after traditions of men and Satan worship, right? And you're mainly breaking the first commandment of the Most High God, right? What is the first commandment of the Most High God? Let's get it real quick. All right, let's check it out. This is the book of Exodus, right? Chapter 20, Salaki, and verse number 3, and it reads, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Right? That's the first commandment that the Lord gave the children of Israel. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Right? So if you're celebrating your birthday, which means you're celebrating yourself as a God. So you're putting yourself before the Most High God, worshiping one's own self, man. Right? Inflating your ego. Right? So you're breaking the first commandment of the Most High God. How can you then say that you love God, that you're following the Most High, when you're breaking his first rule, essentially, man? His first commandment, man. Right? So what we got to understand as so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, which are the true children of the Most High God, you are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. You're not supposed to be upholding these traditions, man, of these other nations, right? You were given commandment to follow after, right? Not after the traditions of men, right? So let's get the classic real quick. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah chapter 10, we'll start at verse 1, and it reads, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, man. So the Lord first said, learn not the way of the heathen, man. Who are the heathen? These other nations, man. The Lord told you not to fall into the same category and do the same things as these other heathen do, man. These other people, these other nations. You're not supposed to fall after those customs, right? He said, for the heathen are dismayed at the signs of heaven, right? He told you not to be dismayed at them, right? And what's that going into, man? When the heathen being dismayed at the signs of heaven, going into them zodiac signs, man, right? That comes with birthdays, worshiping zodiac signs. When your birthday come around, oh, I'm a Libra, I'm an Aquarius, right? I'm a Sagittarius, I'm a Pisces, man, right? And then you're starting to allow these things to dictate your mentality and the way you move and the way you act, man. Essentially summoning demons, man. You're worshiping the signs of heaven, right? The stars, the constellations, man. That's so-called Aquarius right there, man. And Pisces and, Leo, Gemini, all that, man. You're worshiping now the celestials of heaven, man, right? Other deities besides the Most High. And the Lord said, don't do those things, man, because he actually gave those ordinances to the other nations, man, to do those things, man. Right? Check this out real quick in the book of Deuteronomy. Let's get it. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4. Right? Let me get there real quick. Right? This is Deuteronomy, Salakia, chapter 4. And first I'm going to start at verse number... I'm going to just start at the point, verse 19. It says, and least thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun, and the moon, and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest thou be driven to worship them, and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven, man. Right? You see that? The Lord has given those ordinances, right? The celestials, the stars, the sun, the moon, and all that, man, for these other nations to worship. So when you're speaking on, oh, I'm a Pisces, man, I'm Aquarius, and all these things, you're talking about these celestial beings, man, right? And you're essentially worshiping, right? Heaping demons upon yourself that was given to these other nations, man. That's what you're doing. He told you not to worship these things. Right? And those are traditions of men. The Lord said, don't be destroyed or consumed by the ways of men. Right? Because they're going to take you away from worshiping him. And that's what happened to our people in the society and the Western culture and around the world. We have been duped to follow after the traditions of men. Right? Let's get another precept real quick. Matter of fact, let's get that. Right, in the book of Colossians real quick. Right, check this out. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse number 8. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ, man. So the Lord starts out by saying, beware lest any man spoil you, man. That word spoil goes into destroy you, man. Our people's minds have been destroyed following far too long the traditions of men and the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ, right? Christ not once told you in the scriptures anywhere to celebrate your birthday. Right? The children of Israel never celebrated such things, man. Those customs and traditions are of men, which you so earnestly follow after your own vain deceit. You've been destroyed, right, after things that have no root in this world, right? When it pertains to the children of Israel, you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. Right? Check this out. All right, let's get another precept real quick. Let's go to, I believe, the book of Mark. All right, let's go to the book of Mark real quick. Chapter 7. And I'm gonna start at verse 7. Right? It says, "Howbeit in vain do they worship me," man. So I'm gonna stop right there. The Lord said, "Howbeit in vain do they worship me." Right? They worship for nothing. They speak with their mouth, but their hearts are far from the Most High. Right? You say you love the Most High. You say you follow after Christ, but yet in your actions, you do the complete opposite. Right? So it says, "Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." Right? That's first and foremost, man. You're dealing with the commandments of men, right? Men on this earth is what created birthdays, the birth of so-called self-worship, their own God, right? Verse 8, and it says, "For laying aside the commandment of God," meaning putting away the commandments of God, "ye hold tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, Full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition," man. And that's what we do as a people, man. We fully reject the commandments of the Most High and say they're done away with. We don't have to do those things, but yet we uphold commandments and traditions of men. And you wonder why your life is in shambles, man. You wonder why you're in the predicament you're in. You wonder why the world is fashioned and shaped in darkness as it is, man, because you have deviated from the light and you're serving and worshiping men more than the Creator. Right? Let's get a real quick precept real quick. Right? Real quick precept. Check this out. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 25. It says, "Who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen." Right? You have changed the truth of the Most High into a lie because you follow after earth and ashes. Right? Vain men, vile, disgusting heathen nations that you so earnestly want to do and be like. Right? You love to follow after everything that they do and not what the Lord tells you. There's no word or no instance in the Bible where you see any Israelite celebrating their birthdays as a tradition that the Most High has given them. They actually don't like to deal with those days, man, because they know those were against the Most High. Right? They actually cursed the day. Matter of fact, they cursed the day being born. Check this out in Jeremiah real quick. Right? This is in the book of Jeremiah. Check this out what Jeremiah said. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 20. And I'm going to start at verse number 14. It says, "Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed," man. Right? You see that? He said, "Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed," man. Said, dare not me blessed that day, man. Better yet, curse that thing. There's nothing to celebrate about that, man. Being born in poverty, man. Being born hated. Being born in bondage, right? In a world of sickness and madness and confusion and folly. Born without the protection and head over the Most High, man. That's a cursed thing. Cursed be the day I was born, man, wherein my mother conceived me, man. Right? Our people were completely opposite, man, in the ancient world to these customs and traditions, man. Right? Even Job, man, he had to do certain things, right, to appease the Most High, to deter his wrath away from his children, man, which eventually took them away, right? But at the same time, Job had to take and sacrifice for his children for those things that they were doing. Right, let's get the account real quick. Right, check this out. In the book of Job, man. See, our forefathers was adamantly against the traditions of these other heathen, the righteous men and the women of the Lord, right? So check this out. This is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 4, and it reads, "And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day." What's that mean? Everyone on his birthday, celebrating himself, right? It says, "And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their three sisters to eat and drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, It may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually, man." See that? Because Job knew, man, they were sinning, man. In there celebrating birthdays and going on, man, celebrating themselves, man. Right? Lifting themselves up before the Most High, boasting and being proud, feasting. Job had to get up every day and offer sacrifices to the Lord, man, right, for his children, because he knew they was going off, man. They were going off. And where did they get these customs, man? Right, from ancient nations, man. These other heathen. Those customs come from, right, ancient Egypt, right? Then I believe the Greeks took over that. But these things come from ancient Egypt, ancient times, man. Right, when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, man, they were so comfortable. When Moses brought them out of the into the wilderness, they got tired and weary, and they started complaining because they wanted to go back into Egypt and do the things that the Egyptians were doing, man. Eating good, celebrating their customs, doing the things of this heathenistic nation, man. They enjoyed that. They missed those things. They were accustomed to those things, man. Right? They were comfortable in seeing those things. They were used to that. Right? The Lord said, don't deal with these other nations. Don't follow after their ways, man. Right, let's get that real quick in the book of Leviticus, man. All right, let's go to Leviticus chapter 18 and verse number 3. This is 18 and 3. It says, I'll start at 1. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances," man. Right? So the Lord said, man, hey, after the traditions of Egypt and in the land of Canaan where I'm going to give you, man, don't do after these traditions, after these people. Don't do that. But they wanted to go back into, keeping those customs, man. Because what they seen the kings celebrating these things that were revering, making themselves gods before the people. Right, that were uplifting themselves as so-called gods, man. That's where you see the first account of a person actually celebrating their birthday, man, is the Pharaoh of Egypt, man. That's the very first account, right? Let's get that real quick, right? That's the very first account you see of birthdays being held. It's an ancient Egyptian custom, man. Right? Check this out. This is the book Genesis chapter 40 and verse number 20, it says, and it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made the feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and the chief baker and his servants, man. So that's the first time you see a custom or tradition of a birthday being held, man. It's the Pharaoh of Egypt. And what the Lord just say, after the doings of Egypt, don't do them. So he never gave you those customs to keep. He never told you to, hey, every year when that date comes around, when you was born, you're supposed to celebrate that. You're supposed to esteem yourself higher than what you do on any other day. You're supposed to pamper yourself. You're supposed to go out to eat, get drunk, get buck wild, dance. Everybody supposed to come reverence you. The Lord never said that, man. He never told you to deal with that. He said, don't do after the customs of these people, because it was not given to you. But our people have always been wicked and love to tag along like a lost puppy in the shadow of the heathen. Right? They even did it in the time of the Greeks, Alexander and Antiochus and things of that nature, man. Right? Let's get that. All right, let's go into that real quick. This is the book, right, of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41, and it reads, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Right. So it was according to the commandment of the king that everyone left off their laws, not the commandments of the Most High, the commandment and the tradition of men. And it says, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letter by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and they should follow the strange laws of the land, man. Right? And many Israelites, they followed those customs. They most earnestly ran after the traditions of men. They loved it. They loved the glory of the Grecians. They loved the glory and the honor and the splendor of the Egyptians, man. Even though they was in captivity under these nations, they wanted to follow and enjoy the times and the traditions and the celebrations and the glamour and all those things, man, of these other nations, man. And they could not consider nor understand that this is the ruin of them. This is the reason why they're subjugated, destroyed, beat down, right? Impoverished, have no knowledge, dying. It's because they kept following the traditions of men. Let's get another account of a birthday in the Bible, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Matthew. Let's try chapter 14. I'm going to get to the point. Let's start at verse 6. It says, but when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of the Herodians danced before them and pleased Herod, man. So this is King Herod in Rome, right? And this is his birthday celebration, man. You see that? These are all heathen customs, man, all kept by the heathens. And it says, whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask, man. So that promise and that oath that is given, like now, the traditions of birthdays, man. What you want for your birthday? What gift do you want? Right? After you blow out those candles, make a wish. What you want? Right? Said, I'm going to give you whatever you want, man. And it says, and she being before instructed of her, Salaki instructed of her mother, said, give me Here, John the Baptist had in a charger. And the king was sorry. Nevertheless, for the oath's sake, for that promise that he gave her, I'm going to give you whatever you want. And them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her, man. See that? Made an oath, I'm going to give you whatever you want, man. Even though it was his day, that's a custom. Whatever you want. On your birthday, it's yours. It's all about you. Right? Self-worship, self-motivated. You become a god on that day, man. Breaking the first commandment of the Most High. And like we keep saying over and over, the Lord did not give you these things to celebrate, nor these gods to worship. Only him you should worship, and him alone. The Lord gave you high holy days to celebrate, right? Feast of dedication, man, right? Passover, which is coming up, and all these different traditions, man, and customs that the Lord gave you, the high holy days in the Bible. That's what you're supposed to be celebrating. The Lord gave you those days because he made those days hollow for himself. Right. And he gave the rest of those things, like the sun, the moon, the stars, and these other gods, he gave to these other nations, man. All right, let's get another precept real quick. All right, check this out. This is the book, Sirach, chapter 33, and I want to get verse number Salakia. I'm going to get verse number 7. It says, why doeth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun? By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and are altered seasons and feasts. So by the knowledge of the Most High, he's the one that esteemed a day above the other. He's the one that hallowed certain days, feast of dedication, the Passover, man, right? Feast of first fruits, right? The Day of Atonement, all those things. He did that. He hallowed that for himself, right? And it says, some of them had he made high days and hallowed them. And some of them had he made ordinary days, right? And it says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created from the earth. In much knowledge the Lord hath divided them, and made their ways diverse. So the Lord made the ways of men diverse. He gave law, statutes, and ordinances to Israel. He gave the sun, the moon, the stars to these other nations, right? He set portions and things for Israel. He gave certain lands and certain portions to the heathen. Right? He made covenants and things with Israel. He didn't make those covenants with the heathen. Right? He made their ways diverse. He allows those heathen to celebrate Christmas, birthdays, Valentine's Day, whatever they want. He told you to celebrate the high holy days in the Bible. Right? He gave you those things to follow, right? And it says, some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them have he sanctified and set near himself, which is Israel. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out of their place, which is the heathen, right? He don't deal with them, man. And he says, as the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it all is his pleasure. So man is in the hand of him that made him, to render them what they like it best, man. So he allows them to do whatever they want to do, man. Enjoy your day, live your life, rejoice and be glad, right? This is your kingdom. Do what you want to do. But he told Israel, man, to worship and serve me. Keep the high holy days. Keep my commandments. Right? Don't follow after the way of the heathen. Right? He gave you those commandments, man, so you could be separate and holy unto him. That's what holy means. You're separate unto him. You're different than everybody. Right? You're not supposed to uphold the things of this earth. He gave you ways that you should live and follow after him. And if you deviate from the plan, then it's certain death. All right, let's get another precept real quick. Check this out. Let's go 2nd Esdras chapter 7 and verse number 21, and it reads, "For Yahweh hath given straight commandment to such as came what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment," man. So the Lord gave Israel straight commandment on what they should do to live and to avoid punishment, man. Right? Because he said, if you keep my commandments, you're going to live. If you deviate from the plan, you're going to die. Right? Let's get that real quick in Baruch, man. We can get a couple more and I'm going to close it on now. Right? This is the book of Baruch. Right? Chapter 4, the classic, and verse number 1, it says, "This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die." You see that? So that's why there's so much death in the earth. Right? There's so much killing and disease and war and all these things because men don't keep the commandments of the Most High. You Israelites, you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, you have deviated from the plan. You celebrating every tradition of men and doing your own thing rather than following the commandments of the Most High God, man. That's why you are in a low docile state and trodden down underfoot the way you are, man, until you wake up and understand that you have to come back to the commandments and repent. Then, hey, life is going to continue exactly how it is, and you're going to continue to be the lowest of the low, right? And reviled against all these other nations, man, in this earth, and be in captivity and subject to these other nations, man, until you wake up. Right? So let's get 2 more precepts real quick. Let's get to class. Romans 13 and 11. And it reads, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than what we believe," man. So it's time to get up, man. It's time to wake up and unplug from that matrix, man, and know who you are in these last days and repent and come back to the commandments, man. World War III is almost here, man. It's on the brink, man. Right? The return of Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Christ, man, it's almost here. He's on his way, man. You keep living and doing the things you're doing, you will be destroyed in these last days, either by the sword, by famine, or thermonuclear fire, man. Make your choice who you want, right? And you better make the choice of who you're going to serve in these last days. Are you going to keep celebrating birthdays and serving your own self? Or are you going to serve the Lord, man? Right, so let's get that last one, man. I'm going to close out, man. Let's get the classic, right? This is the book of Joshua, right? It's the book of Joshua, chapter 24 and verse 15, and it reads, "And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua," man. Right? So hope this was edifying, man, and hope this is enough to change your mind, your perception on the ways of the world, man. But with that, we give our honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Say Kum Yasha Allah and Shalom.